One of the latest days that I posted my Facebook Live videos on the self-love experience. This is Gwen Lepard. It's day 230 of 365 days. And I was hopping on Facebook to make sure that I made my commitment to being here today, and noticed that 3 years ago, this was my 37th day of 100 days being stimulant free, which was one of the first things, one of those first big challenges that I set for myself. And actually was set by an acupuncturist who suggested it. And I discovered that other than cacao, I'm pretty much stimulant free 3 years later. And I did do the 100 days, and there was only one time that I had like a sip of a juice drink, and then I looked at the label and it had guarana in it, which was a stimulant. But other than that, I actually stayed stimulant free, and like I said, other than cacao, I still am stimulant free. I quit doing the energy drinks entirely, and I stopped doing maca. I think I've had maybe a few cups of maca in the last 3 years, but actually yerba mate was not maca, but yeah, maca is not a stimulant so much as a herbal support. So yeah, yerba mate is what I used to love all the time, and just a couple of cups in the last three years. So, and I didn't drink coffee to begin with, and I'm not a caffeine tea person. It's more stimulating than I need. So, just thinking back on that and reflecting, that I seem to set myself challenges that, have a deadline, a container. That was one of those things that I've discovered about myself, is I really like containers, and it gives you space to be flexible within that container, and you know what the boundaries are for playing or work or whatever it is that you are creating your container for. And I was talking with a young woman today about cycles, because she felt like, I need to be motivated every single day, and then I'll be really focused for a period of time, and then I drift. And it's actually a natural cycle to have really super on days, and then have days where you really need to rest, because if you get too yin, you move into yang. If you get too yang, you move into yin. So if you're doing too much resting or binging Netflix, you will eventually move into action again. And if you're doing too much action and go, you'll need to rest. And either you'll do it for yourself, or your body will shut you down. Or if you're really stubborn, like some people I know, you end up in car accidents and have life-threatening illnesses to slow you down. So it's worthwhile to acknowledge that you have ebbs and flows. And when you're in an ebb, to actually embrace it and set a container for it and say, for this day, I'm going to just drift. And then set yourself something that will inspire you back to focus the next day, or however long you're going to have your container for. And I don't recommend it for more than a couple of days. Usually that's enough. Depends on how long you've been going. But to listen to yourself and what you need to recharge, and be honest with yourself. So yeah, today's day 230 of the 365 that I've set myself here to ask the question, how do I love myself today? And ask you, how are you loving yourself today? And how I'm loving myself today is doing some of that drifting and setting a container for it, and allowing myself, did some work, and then allowed myself to do some Netflix. So I'm talking about myself today too. I always, I guess so. And I just want to acknowledge all the people in my life that have been so supportive and been there as I go through different stages in my life and make different decisions. It's like, well, what's she doing now? I don't know if something's going to work for me unless I do it. And setting myself challenges for my well-being and health it's something that works for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody. And I know that most challenges that work for people are much smaller. So I am going to be doing 5-day challenges to where we'll do we'll have something every day for you to do to help yourself with your self-love, and to have a bit of the self-love experience, and ask yourself, how do I love myself today? And really, uh, really take that on to start improving self-esteem and having more love for yourself, so that you can be easier to love. It's easier to be in good relationships. When you love yourself, it's easier to be in good relationships because you're not looking for someone else to complete you. Hey, Kelly, nice to see that you've joined. I was just getting ready to wrap up, but I'll stick around if you have some questions that you'd like to ask me. I was reflecting on that 3 years ago, this was my 37th day of being stimulant-free, and that I pretty much stayed that way. And then I also did, I did 100 days in a row of no sugars, no refined sugars, and agaves and honey and maple syrup. At first, I didn't even do fruit sugar, any fruit. And I ended up doing 444 days that were sugar-free. And hey, Ron, nice to see you. Yeah, just wrapping up here. And I've been really amazed that I've, had this commitment, and though tonight almost missed, this is the latest that I've posted, 230 days that I've actually been here in front of a camera talking with you, or to no one, but luckily tonight to Kelly and Ron, about what my journey is with self-love, and encouraging you to love yourself, and to ask that question every day. How do I love myself today? What can I do today that will show me that I care about myself and that I'm worth loving? Because when we know that we're worth loving, and that we're the only person that will never leave us. And so when you're able to love yourself, you know that love never leaves, and it gives you a really solid foundation to build upon. And then when you get into relationship, you come from a complete place, not needing to be completed, which ends up with codependency and unhealthy relationships and a lot of challenges. And I'm not saying that there's no challenges when you love yourself. It just gives you a really solid foundation to go from, because relationships are the foundation of our health, our wealth, our happiness, and our relationship with ourselves is the first relationship. It's absolutely core and key to having amazing relationships. And I am excited to be the leader of the Radiant Relationship Revolution, and see where we can take that, and creating more self-love in our life. Hey, Julie, good to see you from Perth. I am just getting ready to hop off, but it's great to know that you're here on your Sunday afternoon. I guess it's a little after 12 there, or quarter to 1 there. No, it's 11:45 in Perth. That's right. You guys are as far away as you can be. One of the most isolated places in the world, Perth, Australia. And then we have Kelly from Washington, and Ron, I believe you're still up in Orange County. And it's just wonderful to have you all join me. So now I just want to ask you, how do you love yourself today? And, oh, yeah, it'll be Sunday for me soon, but it's happy Saturday for me now. Happy Sunday to you, Julie. Do something good for yourself today or tonight, and go love yourself. Thank you.